He's in the connection. We got a really bad connection with the net here. I don't know why. We messed up the connection. What's going on?
Okay, like fire trucks going at 60 miles an hour.
Yeah, those are the things that I would not even consider. Like, you know, when you're in the midst of it, it's like, oh,
Ms. Earl? Here. Mr. Legati? Here. Board Attorney, Mark? Board Planner, John Barry? Here. Board Secretary, Monica Orlando, present.
Thank you. You all rise. Salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty. Public hearing on application TB 25-01. Unless members of the governing body may step down from this hearing, will the applicant and any experts please step up?
Are we going to
Sworn in.
have Darren step up since we're already down one planning board member, right? Or are we okay? Yeah.
Please, applicants, please step up and be sworn in.
Good evening. You wanted to sit? You wanted to sit?
No, the attorney, please swear you in for any testimony.
On the mic, please.
Can you raise your hand? Can you state your name?
Susan Vignolo.
Do you swear to that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Hi, good evening. My name is Anthony Vignolo, and I'm representing the applicants in connection with this application. Susan will be our only witness. We're hoping to have Mr. Ludwig, but he has a medical emergency tonight, so he's not available. And my understanding is that board members already have copies of the plans, and you have copies of the plans attached. If you want to see them in more detail, I'll mark them if it's necessary, if anyone wants to see them marked. If not, rely upon the plans that you have, and we will have them available for further inspection if anyone wants to see them.
I'm just going to have you speak into the microphone so everybody can hear you. Whoever's speaking, we're going to speak.
Just make sure we can hear you in the microphone. Yep. Please step up when you're speaking.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said it was
No, you're not close enough.
It's
All
fine.
right, Susan, get closer to the microphone. Can you tell us where you're reside?
207 Washington Avenue.
And who do you live there with?
My husband, Peter, and 3 of our 4 children at this point.
How long have you been there?
18 years.
And can you describe the house for us in terms of its location with respect to Washington Avenue and Wilson?
So it is a corner lot, so it fronts on Main Street, and the driveway is on North Wilson, so it does have 2 front yards.
Within the house, can you tell us where the kitchen is?
If you're facing the house from Washington Avenue, it is in the back right corner, so the wall is facing North Wilson Avenue.
Can you tell the board the size of the kitchen?
Oh, I can. I've been cooking in it for many years. Our house is over 100 years old. We're not exactly sure, but it is very small by modern standards. It's approximately 130 square feet, and it is only 9.5 feet wide.
And this application also includes an addition to the purpose of expanding what's called the power room bathroom application. How big is the existing bathroom application?
I don't know the answer to that question.
Well,
Small.
is it more than 6 feet wide?
No.
Is it more than 5 feet long?
No.
Has one sink?
It has one sink. Correct.
And this application seeks to also make that area.
Correct.
Now, with respect to this being a corner lot, you're required to have 2 front yards. So what's the setback approximately from Washington, which is the main street?
So that, we are in compliance there. It's 25.35 feet from Washington Avenue.
This is the existing distance between Wilson and Milton's location.
8.95 feet, so already non-conforming.
So with respect to the addition, what's being proposed in terms of going towards the Wilson Street location?
4 feet out towards North Wilson with one 6-foot portion that's going to hopefully extend 6 feet so that we can fit a breakfast nook in
Within the kitchen.
within the kitchen.
And it's also going to expand to the rear of the house as well, correct?
Correct.
There's no variances required. What's the
No, that's an 8-foot 2-story addition off the back of the house, extending towards the garage, so that will not affect.
Okay, would that be 1-story addition or 2-story addition?
2 stories.
So the intention is also to enhance the bedroom upstairs?
Correct, to have a guest room with an attached bathroom for visiting family.
Now, the opposite side of the house has a side yard, correct?
Correct.
What prevents you from going to the side yard location?
2 things. The first is that the kitchen and bathroom are already located on the North Wilson side, so moving them would not be practical and would be very expensive. We also have a beautiful 100-year-old weeping cherry tree in our side yard, and we have, since we live there, done a number of projects, and we have always tried to preserve the tree. So we don't want to expand, and we don't want to do anything that would damage the tree, and we're definitely not cutting it down. So.
Just a couple more questions. With respect to the Wilson side location, is there curbing there?
No,
The street was recently done by the borough, correct?
it was repaved, yes.
When they repaved it, there was no sidewalk.
Correct.
So the only thing that's at that location is your side yard of approximately 9 feet.
Correct, that's the only thing that.
Now, with respect to this property, obviously you can't move the house.
Right.
So the side yard is an existing problem with respect to this. With respect to adjacent properties, is there any property that would come close to this property's, your addition's location?
No, there are 2 houses across the street, but it should not have. Sight lines, I'm not sure.
And you have, behind you have a proper setback.
Correct, yes.
I don't have any further questions. Mrs. Viola.
Board members, or actually professionals first, please?
Sure. Good evening. Thank you for the testimony. Could you just confirm, I believe it's shown on the architectural plans, that the finish of the addition will match the siding of the existing
Yes,
building?
everything will match, including the design, the roof shingles, and the siding.
Okay. And the fence that is located on the Wilson Avenue side, that'll remain, or is that going to be relocated?
Parts of it will have to go, and it will be replaced.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
In looking at the plans, it appears that only about a quarter of the existing home is currently within that setback, meaning that most of the home is closer than 25 feet to Wilson, and even on the back part, the existing garage structure is
Is set back, yes.
right. Okay. There was a picture that was included that showed a fence alongside that back. Would it be the proposed addition? Is it all the way to what the fence is currently? Is it partway?
No, it will extend towards the garage, but no, it's not going to get anywhere near the fence.
I mean, on the Wilson Ave side, there's a little bit of a fence about 3/4 of the way. Just from a visual, I wanted to understand how far out the 4 feet would be. Is it the whole fence? Is it part of the fence?
I'm honestly not sure. The fence, it's definitely going to be past the fence, because I think the fence, the fence, correct. So it will go further than the fence.
And there's a sidewalk in the front on Main Street.
Correct, there's a
But
brick
not on-
walkway, but no sidewalk on Wilson.
Thank you.
I may have misunderstood, but the house is only 8 feet from the street? Wilson,
Almost 9,
almost 9?
Correct.
And you want to add 4?
correct,
So your house would be 5 feet from the street,
correct.
which would pretty much leave no room for a sidewalk.
There is no sidewalk.
Not now. Okay, I thought maybe I misunderstood. You want your...
The existing sidewalk on Main Street, though, is abutting Main Street, right? There's not a grass
No,
in between.
correct.
Washington Avenue, not Main Street.
On Washington, sorry.
I'm sorry,
Yes,
Washington,
that's
I
okay.
apologize.
Yes,
It's like the
Right.
second Main Street.
I have a question, and
Sure.
I think it might clear up some of the issues.
okay,
So I understand that it's proposed to be 4.95 feet without the breakfast nook to the sidewalk that doesn't exist, but more or less like a sidewalk right of way. Like if I look at the front of the house, even there, the sidewalk is further away from that property line. There's like a grass nook that I suppose is more of that devil strip or whatever, term you want to use. My question to you is, if there was a curve on the street, or wherever that asphalt starts, right, what is that distance between that asphalt and the property line? Because I don't see that on any of the...
I think we have an older survey that was submitted, trying to see if it shows the existing property line. I don't think it shows dimensions in the one that I have. So do you have a copy of the survey?
I mean, if this is to scale, which it should be, I mean, I'm ballparking it here, but it looks like it'd probably be 15 feet.
I'm doing that from an aerial photograph as well, but I don't have, we have an old survey, and I'm not sure the survey goes beyond the existing dwelling.
I see.
So you're right, we're gonna probably have to ballpark that.
So just looking at the survey and the plans that were provided, the survey ends at the right-of-way line. It doesn't show us the grass strip that's within the right-of-way between that line and the paving edge. From the architectural drawing, the plot plan that was provided, I would ballpark it at about 8 feet.
Okay.
So from the house today to where the pavement on the street actually begins is in the neighborhood of 16, 17 feet, something like that. So there's a distinction between setback from the property line and setback from the side of the road. Yeah.
Thank you for clearing it up. So the point is that there's quite a bit of room. It's not just potentially 5 feet.
Just what I thought.
So, given that this is a corner lot, one could construe that maybe there's a little bit of a hardship because of the fact that there are 2 front yards. And I've seen in other cases where someone wanted to put a fence on their side yard, but their side yard wasn't really a front yard, so they had to go to zoning board and get that figured out. But for the R10 zone, just to be clear, what the numbers are, and you know the numbers, so the front yard setback is 25 feet,
Correct.
and the side yard setback is 12 feet, right? So the 2 side yard setbacks would be 24 feet.
Correct. And we have more than a lot more than that footage on the opposite side where the tree is located. That's a very large area.
Okay.
The problem, in terms of the legal hardship, we can't move the building. There's already an existing hardship, and we can't move the kitchen within the building. So what we're trying to do by the application is to take advantage of the existing location with minimal impact upon anybody in the neighborhood by coming directly towards the street.
Can you remind us what the previous application was for with regard to the garage?
So you have the resolution. Yeah, we have a copy of the resolution. Trying to get to the part where the board makes its findings. Okay. It was to allow the construction of the two-car garage with a side yard setback variance. Again, because it was an existing structure where it was located, the garage, and it was simply knocked down and rebuilt within the same footprint.
Within the same footprint?
Yeah.
Okay. So there was a pre-existing non-conforming?
Yeah, pre-existing non-conforming garage, but garage is a generous description. It was wood in a location.
Yeah, I see.
What was the date of that?
That resolution is dated, I see they put it on the beginning. The hearing was held on September 4, 2019, so the resolution must have been,
It was October 2nd.
Thank you.
I have a quick follow-up question, and it's more of a, I don't know if anybody has the answer, it's kind of an opinion, but if there was ever a sidewalk placed on Wilson Avenue, from what I can tell on the one photo provided on the cover here, it looks like utility lines are on that side of the right-of-way. So I imagine a pole is closer to the street, which would potentially put a sidewalk closer to the house than it would right up against the road. I know it's a lot of what ifs, but I'm curious if you would feel comfortable having potentially only a 3-foot distance from the breakfast nook, which may have a window, to the sidewalk. It's awfully close. It's just something and to follow up that, does anybody else have a sidewalk in that particular neighborhood that close to their actual house?
So I don't think it would bother me, mostly because we are right on Washington Avenue, so our living room is on Washington Avenue. We regularly sit there and, there's people walking by. It's a busy street, so we're used to it.
and the second question is, are there any sidewalks on that street on Wilson?
Not until further down, no. Actually, no, I don't think there are any on Wilson. No, there aren't, all the way down. There are no sidewalks anywhere on Wilson. No.
And I think that's why I asked the question about when the borough decided to improve the street by paving it, they didn't put a curb or require sidewalks. So I think it's the intention to pretty much leave it the way it is, because it is an older area of the community.
Fair enough, thank you.
Thank you.
I can tell you that I walk that street all the time.
There are no sidewalks.
in that whole area. And that piece of grass that is from the street to the side, to the, I guess your fence, is huge. I think 8 feet was small. I think it's more than 8 feet. So there's plenty of room for a sidewalk there to put one in.
That's all we have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Before I sit, I just want to say, please excuse my hat. I had some surgery on Monday, so we're just covering up some stitches and bandages.
I told her that she needed ketchup.
I see that you're removing the existing lot patio where the kitchen goes on the and the front house.
Correct.
Just incidental, so are you planning to put a shrubbery there, or?
On the side around the
The addition.
yes, definitely. There is there now, so obviously that will have to go, but yes, we will replace it.
Sure. No,
Yeah, absolutely.
There are no more board questions. We can open this up public? Anyone would like to ask a question to the applicant? Once, twice. The board?
We'll close the public portion.
Any other questions? If not? Oh, close the public, excuse me. Public portion's closed. Board members, anyone? Make a motion?
Don't all jump at once.
Sure, I'd like to make a motion to approve the bulk variance as described in the application.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
Thank you. Please.
Mr. Cook.
Aye.
Chair LeBlanc.
Aye.
Mr. Mertens.
Aye.
Mr. Reba.
Aye.
Mr. Ruth.
Aye.
Vice Chair Shakarian.
I'd just like to say a couple things before I vote. And that is that the one concern I have is that the side yard, the front yard is going to have to be very short. And for the R10 zone, it could be, I don't know for a fact, it could be the shortest setback in the R10 zone that exists at present. And so I am concerned about that, but I do realize that the side yard setback on the other side is ample. So that if you consider, I'm not stretching, but if you consider that Wilson's side be a side yard, then you have the 24 and that makes me consider that I will vote in favor.
And Mr. Darren Murray.
Aye.
I'm sorry, what?
Yep.
Yes, okay. Very good.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
For your attention.
Congratulations, everyone.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Old business.
There you go, guys.
Thank you.
Tonight, board discussion, public hearing, fourth round of housing element and fair share plan. Board discussion and public hearing. I'll ask our board planner, John Barrett, to lead the discussion.
Sure. So, good evening, everyone. We have a housing element and fair share plan that's been distributed, that's been on notice to the public for last 10, 11 days or so, and we're here tonight to review that. It comes from the statewide obligation. That number is calculated according to a formula that's been based on different ways of doing it over the years, and it's been updated. And in the most recent 2024 legislation, the state legislature basically told the Department of Community Affairs, here's how you go about doing this, and you're going to give each town a number. And so the number overall is based on the growth of households in the state, and then an assumption that a certain number of those households represent people with low and moderate incomes. And just by way of that terminology, low and moderate income refers to a percentage of the area median income. And part of the reason why the state gets split into regions is that the economic factors in different parts of the state are different. You know, Bergen County is different from Salem County. And so the state gets split up into these 6 different regions, and there's an area median income for each region. And within that, it gets broken down into moderate, low, and very low income. So households that make a certain amount fall into those thresholds. For we're in Housing Region 3 in Middlesex County. That includes Middlesex, Somerset, and Hunterdon. And recently updated 2025 numbers tell us that the median income for a four-person household, so just kind of your median household, is $153,000 a year, give or take. So that would make moderate income, which is 80% of that, $122,000 and change. Low income would be $76,000, and very low income would be $46,000. So that's just the basic parameters that we're working in to talk about affordable housing. You know, these are different income brackets for different housing types, and those scale based on household size in addition to within those different breakdowns. So smaller households, smaller income, so forth. So we in the borough have a number that was provided as this share of the Region 3 obligation, and is based on several factors: the availability of developable land, is based on the growth in non-residential tax ratables over population changes. So, and income. The number that the borough's adopted was 51 units. So the fourth round is what we're in now, what we call for housing. The borough has an obligation to plan for 51 affordable housing units as what's called its prospective need. And prospective meaning starting from the middle of this year, 2025, 10 years forward. That's the housing round is a 10-year period. And so prospectively, over the next 10 years, we're meant to provide the opportunity to develop those 51 affordable housing units through different mechanisms that we'll talk about in a minute. So that's the number that we're looking at as part of our planning work here. In addition to the prospective need, there's another category that's called present need in the legislation, which doesn't refer to something we have to do right now. It kind of implies that the present need, we have to deal with it immediately. What it's really referring to is that households exist today that may be deficient in some ways and are likely to be occupied by folks with low and moderate incomes. This is the rehabilitation need. So we're not building new units, we're helping rehabilitate existing unit-income households. So it's two different numbers, two different approaches to satisfying the obligation. So that number for the borough for the fourth round is 13. So that's our numbers, that's where we are. So in dealing with planning for the fourth round, we actually had to go back and kind of adjust what we had done previously rounds of housing planning, because Ford Avenue is still sitting there as a pile of rubble and not as housing units that were planned however many years ago originally. So the most recent housing element and fair share plan that the borough adopted, that the planning board adopted, was back in 2019. And that plan came about as a result of basically a judge saying, here's where we've landed on all of this Ford Avenue business for now. The town has to deal with